Hey everyone, it's Jamie from Independent Street NOLA and Seasons and Ritual, and I'm here with my good friend Helen, the Crimson Cadaverous. And we are here, we're going to talk about the week of 2/13 to 2/19.
Yes.
So now this really is the last week of Aquarius season.
Yes, this is the last week of Aquarius season, and it's the last week of this moon cycle as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of endings, a lot of closing things out.
Listen, I'm going to say bummer because I'm an Aquarius, but it's not a bummer week.
Yeah, it's
actually
not
a
a
really
bummer
good
week. And also, I'm going to remind you, we're moving into the age of Aquarius, so, we got plenty of Aquarius energy to work with. We don't need Aquarius season, we got the age of Aquarius. Yes, very exciting. I know, I'm all excited about it.
If we knew how to post-edit shit, I'd do something, but
Oh, yeah.
we'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay, Monday, and it is Monday, so
Yes.
we're filming this
Real
a little
time.
late. Yes,
Real
because I
time.
had been traveling, so thank you for doing this with me on Monday. So it's Monday the
No
13th.
problem.
The moon is in Scorpio.
Yes.
And at this time, it's trining Jupiter. It's trining Neptune and Venus.
Jupiter.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah.
It's trining Neptune and Venus, who are both in
Yes.
Pisces right now.
Right, which is interesting because that's all three feminine planetary bodies
Yep.
trining one another in this like really harmonious, like beautiful, like almost symphonious like alignment today.
And it's almost like a morning song, MOURN,
Yes.
if you will. So if you're feeling kind of just bummed out or bad, or just like, why do I feel like this? Mourn, because we're moving. And when we get through this week, you guys are going to see we're moving into a whole new cycle.
Oh yeah.
So it's okay to have this morning song here on
Yes.
Monday.
And that feminine energy, I think, is here to like kind of help nurture that.
Yep, because the
Yeah.
feminine energy makes it better what's in front of us. And so if something's in front of you that you are mourning, then it's important for you to nurture that. And don't try to fight it. Just be like, something's dead, something's dying, something's moving on. Something's,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
that Scorpio is also at the highest is the Phoenix. So something is about
Yes.
to get rebirth.
And we have a sextile to Pluto today. So
Okay.
he's very easily helping us transform. Normally things are a little rough with Pluto, but with the sextile, it's like, he's like, all right, I'm going to give it to you easy today.
Right, trining is good energy,
Yep.
sextiling is good energy,
Yes.
and Pluto just happens to be still just sitting his ass in Capricorn, right? Those final
Panoramic
degrees
degree.
of
Yep.
Capricorn, because he's getting ready to move into Aquarius. So
Yes.
it is a lot of, just on the surface, a lot of mourning
Yes.
the way we work or how we work, or if maybe we're getting new jobs, or if
Right.
we're thinking about getting new jobs, or maybe the job that you had wasn't all that it was cracked up to be. It can run the gambit, you guys. So
Just kind of feeling the endings
yeah,
at this point.
good, yeah.
And I think what's making us feel it especially today is the square to the sun,
Right, so
which gives us the last quarter moon.
right, and so the moon in Scorpio is squaring the sun,
Right.
okay, who is still in Aquarius.
Yes.
Aquarius.
Yes.
Okay.
So we
And-
are moving forward.
Yes.
Always remember we're moving forward.
Yes. And
But
like you said, because the sun is squaring,
we have
The
a
last-
quarter moon.
a quarter
So
moon, okay.
anytime the sun squares the moon, we have a quarter moon. Depending upon where we're at in things, it's either the first or the last.
okay, so we'll keep going over that over and over again.
Yes.
So just know that.
So last quarter moons ask us to take action.
Okay.
There's challenges, there's tension. When we take action, we alleviate that. The action we want to take in a last quarter moon is releasing something. So there's something we're releasing. And then Saturn actually comes in right afterwards, makes a square with the moon. So I feel like what we're releasing is something that's either restricting us, something that's keeping us from building a solid foundation, something that's just not in alignment with our highest and most, I want to say responsible self. And I know that sounds kind
highest
of,
and most responsible.
Right.
Moving, like where we are now.
yes.
Like where we were, all of this might have been like okay, but like we're moving forward. Age of Aquarius,
Yes.
in Aquarius, the sun's in Aquarius. So when you want to show up where that sun is, you might have to mourn
Yeah.
what you're letting go, because like you said, it is about release, and
Right.
you're letting go of what's not stable.
Right. And again, I can't emphasize enough, sextile to Pluto means if we're doing it, it's not that hard.
Right.
That it's like if we
We're
accept that we're doing it,
Right.
it's going to go easy.
Yeah, I understand where we might be creating some of the resistance
Yes.
instead of just letting it go.
Right.
Okay, this is all today on Monday.
Yay!
Starting off with a bang.
Yep.
Okay, someone's got to cancel the Mondays.
Yep.
It's us. Okay, Tuesday, the moon will move into Sagittarius, because actually it moves in on the later half of Monday.
Right. Today. Yeah.
Yep.
This evening.
This
we'll
evening.
Move into
So it'll move-
Sagittarius.
Which
yes.
is great.
Because
That's
that
gonna,
brings
like, a
in
big-
a lot more enthusiastic, brighter kind of energy that, we got a little deep
Like you
with
can
Scorpio.
wipe your tears and be like, shit, I can do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're like, actually, let's go have a party instead.
Yeah, it reminds me of those commercials of Outback a long time ago where that woman was crying because she accidentally dyed her hair purple.
Oh, God.
And the husband was like, do you want to go to Outback? She's like, let me get my purse. Okay, it's kind of like that. She was over it, all right? Like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And then a trine with Jupiter is just making it jovial,
Right.
So I think, anything that might be a little tense today shifts into something a lot more lighthearted tomorrow.
Right, because Jupiter is still in Aries. Aries is warmth. Aries is the initiation, right? And Jupiter, gift luck, money,
Right.
faith, right? And so tomorrow and Tuesday, the moon will be having that conversation because it's trining. And how
Yes.
far away is that?
That's 4 signs, so 120 degrees.
120 degrees. So
Yes.
that's good. That's a good space to talk this out. You're
Yep.
not on top of each other.
Yep, same element. They're both in fire elements. And I think it's like today we're doing the work,
Right.
the Saturn Pluto work, and tomorrow it's like kind of like seeing the rewards of that with Sagittarius Jupiter.
Yeah, and then the moon in Sagittarius will be sextiling Mercury, who's
Yes.
that planet of communication.
Yeah, helping us talk it out,
And
helping
guess what?
us see clearly.
Right, and he's in Aquarius. Mercury is in Aquarius. So
Yes.
Sagittarius is coming in. It's like, hey, buddy. His little hoof. Hey, bud. Oh, you guys see his arms, too.
Yes.
Hey, bud. You okay? Let's talk about this.
Yep.
We're in Aquarius, so this is good. Let's talk about how you see yourself now and in the future, because the future now, which will get weird, time, space, continuum, but whatever. But then that moon in Sag is also opposite.
Mars.
Right, so it's looking over there, and Mars is still in Gemini. So Mars
Yes,
is saying
forever.
forever. But Mars is saying you can go.
Yeah.
There's a couple ways you can go, so just think about it. There's more than 2 ways.
Yeah.
Because it's in Gemini. So just again, take a few deep breaths. That Mars, I can't express enough how I love that Mars is over there in Gemini
Yeah.
and not just in the back seat or in the front seat hitting the gas right
Nope,
now.
they're
'Cause
just
we're
kind of looking across at one another.
right, and being like, there's more than 2 ideas. You guys, let's just
Yeah.
work this out. Okay. It's really helpful. So
Yes.
Wednesday, the moon will still be in Sag.
Yes, and that's actually, so it's interesting because, tomorrow, of course, is Valentine's Day.
Oh,
so,
shit.
but,
Oh, I forgot. Tuesday's Valentine's Day.
Well, but what's funny is it seems like we have the, like, what you would consider the, like, lovey-dovey energy the next day, today, or the day we're about to talk about on Wednesday.
So Tuesday, love yourself.
Yes, love
And then
yourself.
Wednesday, love someone else.
Well, I think it's actually like, because what we have on that day is a Venus conjunction with Neptune. So Venus represents like our value system, and a lot of times that like, we do think of like love and relationships with Venus, but then Neptune is like that higher octave, almost like the unconditional love, the love for universe, the
Right.
connection to the universe. I almost see something with this like Venus conjunct Neptune where we're learning.
Unconditional love for ourselves.
Yes.
Oh my God.
But within the whole.
Yeah.
Within this,
Like,
like,
this makes sense to me, so I hope it's translating to the public.
right,
Yeah.
where it's almost like it's something where we recognize to love ourselves means to love the whole.
Right.
Because we are a part of the whole.
Right. That's a good way of putting it. Because I always when I talk to people, I'm always like, you need to forgive yourself first. And then
Yes.
after you work with that, you can extend that grace to others. And I feel like it's the
Yes.
same thing. The more you love yourself, the more naturally you do love others. When you
Yes.
start to see how we are all connected.
Well, and it's interesting because on that same day, this Venus conjunction with Neptune is squaring the moon in Sagittarius, which normally, of course, squares are challenges, they're tension.
Yeah.
But we've got just beautiful feminine energy, Venus and Neptune, and moon in Sagittarius is just fun, adventurous,
But
jovial.
also, what I think is good about a square again, it's still putting up a boundary.
Yes.
Because Jupiter rules Sag.
Yes.
Okay, and so again, if these guys were all next to each other, it would just keep blowing up and up and up. So the fact that Venus is squaring Pisces, is that correct?
Squaring the moon in Sagittarius.
Okay, sorry. So the fact that the moon in Sagittarius, okay, is squaring
Venus and Neptune.
Venus and
Pisces.
Neptune, right? We're just not going to be like unconditional love to everybody, like peace and love.
No, we're a little more discerning.
Right.
Right.
Thank you for that word, discernment. And you can just be like, well, I can bring all this love within me and work with me and then see how it goes to
Right.
the other. So that's really good. These squares, you guys, are good. Like you said, seeing eye to eye.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, like seeing like a chess and seeing eye to eye. I like that. Those
Yeah.
squares
And well, and
help give us a boundary.
the discernment also is amplified by the fact that we have that sextile with the sun and Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the sextile, it's a harmonious, easy flowing energy.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun is our vitality, our true self. So it's like it's easy for us to be true to ourselves in whatever we're doing here.
In Aquarius.
Yes. And Saturn also in Aquarius.
Yes.
And Saturn, again, always
Stability.
helps us discern.
Yeah.
Always is helping us discern.
And it always goes back to that idea with like the age of Saturn, when people like they didn't have boundaries because they naturally knew their own boundaries.
Right. And I think we're starting to realize that.
Right. So
where
this
we
is
can
good.
be a part of the whole, but
Because-
still be the self.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we are starting to really understand what our natural boundary is, and we're okay with being like, no way, no way, man. I
Yeah.
said Jose. What the hell's wrong with me? No way, everyone. Okay.
Yes.
So Thursday,
Yes.
the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Moon in Sagittarius.
Yes.
We'll move into Capricorn.
Yep, pretty quickly on that day.
Okay, so it's just like, hey, I'm in Capricorn.
Yes.
Good morning.
And then afterwards, later on in the day, we have the trine with the North Node. So once Moon moves into Capricorn, Earth sign, trine with the North Node in Taurus, another Earth sign, we're easily flowing in the direction we need to be flowing in. Because the North Node, of course, is always the direction we're moving in. And a trine, of course, is harmonious.
Yes,
so
that's
it's like
good.
it's an easy flow towards where we need to be going. It feels like we're moving in the right direction.
And I feel like this really builds off last week where we were setting up a lot of this energy to get us here.
Yes, yes, exactly. And again, we keep having this like discerning energy because on that same day, we have the sun forming a conjunction with Saturn.
And Saturn's still in Aquarius.
Yes,
Okay.
but this is the last time for a long time that we're going to have the sun conjunct Saturn in Aquarius.
Yeah.
Because very soon, Saturn is going to move into Pisces.
Yeah.
And Saturn won't be back in Aquarius for another 29, 30 years or so.
Right.
So this sun conjunct Saturn in Aquarius, that particular energy is basically the last time we're going to feel it for a very long time.
So it's just good, you guys, to just kind of, if you can take time that day to just kind of think about where you are now and what you see coming in,
Yes.
right? And then see, and just know, like, you guys don't have to figure it all out. Just be like, this can be stable for me. I can feel stable in this energy. I can feel stable in the future. And I don't want you guys to keep thinking the future is in the future. Like, now is the future. Like, we're
Yeah.
always in the future.
We're always moving into the future,
Yes.
basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Um,
Well, and it's interesting because on that same day,
yeah.
Mercury's squaring the North Node. So we really are thinking about moving forward.
Right. And communicating that.
Yes. And like our mind, it's almost like there's some kind of like a mental shift that happens where we get that we are the future. We are already moving into it.
And again, that goes into this age of Aquarius, because Aquarius is known as logic, which is interesting because it's the cosmos.
Yeah.
It's new, it's future, it's thought. So it can be very creative, you know, and it can be, and it's always moving, and it's not like, but it's more logical, as in seeing through things. Like,
Yes.
just being like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Like, just to say, like, again, I know I hate to bring up this person, but like George Santos had a story, and they were like, you would have been 13.
Right. Where it's like it's just
Right,
doesn't add
right.
up.
Like, logically, it just
Yeah.
doesn't add up. So it's bringing
Yeah.
in some of that. Like,
Again, discernment. Like
okay.
seeing that things are like just not adding up.
right. But also, when I say logic, no, it's creative. Like,
Yeah.
it can be very creative thought. It's just not 1 + 1 = 2. It's not just that.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up creative logic.
Okay.
Because Pallas Athena stations direct on that day.
And Pallas Athena is?
She is the asteroid that represents creative logic, really.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we talk about her in a warrior battle sense,
she's
like
also Minerva.
yes,
Yes. Okay.
but that she's almost like the strategic warrior, like she's strategizing her plan of attack.
Right.
But we don't always mean plan of attack in like a violent, warlike way. Sometimes that's just like how you're approaching things.
And if you look up Athena, she / Minerva, depending Roman, Greek stuff, but she was also the goddess of arts and crafts.
Yes. So again, the creativity.
yeah.
So again, there might be something that we've kind of just been milling about. How do we approach a specific creative project that requires a certain level of wisdom that maybe we have like, I don't want to say like an aha moment, but we might
Go with
around
that.
that.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
might have an aha moment where we're like, this is how we, I keep wanting to say attack.
Attack, yeah, go for it.
I know that's like,
Yeah,
not,
no,
you know,
yeah.
but like that kind of metaphorical attack. 'cause
Attack it, guys. Like,
right.
Go for
How
it.
do we
Like,
go about attacking this thing that like needs to come out?
with the strength of a warrior, like
Right.
a spiritual warrior. Like you're doing
Right.
all this work. It's you, and then you're just like, I'm doing it. It's time to move forward. Which
Yes.
also, she's been coming up a lot for me. This is why I just know this. This is just how things work. It's always interesting how
Yes.
things work out. But I also think it's interesting. She carries the sword, right?
Yeah.
And Aquarius is represented by swords in the
Yes.
tarot.
Yep.
And so
And the mental discernment that
Yes.
comes along
Yeah.
with that. Yep.
But she's also, like I said, the goddess of creativity, weaving.
Yeah. So it's almost like taking somehow
She was born out of Zeus's head.
distilling your creative ideas down enough to a point where you can actually turn them into something fruitful.
And I'm going to tell you this, guys. The difference with this, too, is before we always got gaslit into people being like, well, how are you going to make it work?
Oh,
Or,
yeah.
How does that make sense?
going to make you money?
Yeah. Okay, we've all been there, especially be creatives.
Yes.
And anyway, you guys, if you've been there, you've been there. And so what this is doing is giving you the whatever it is that you need to be like, because I can, because
Yeah.
I said so type
Yeah.
mentality, and it will work. So making it.
Yeah. She's definitely the warrior that gives us that courage.
Yes. So this is good. So this is a big week. Okay.
Yeah.
Friday. The moon's still in Capricorn.
Yes.
Okay. What do you want to talk about first?
I think definitely.
Well, okay. Wait. Who does it move into at the end of the day? The moon starts in Capricorn.
Nope, stays
It's
in Capricorn all day. Yeah, so the moon's in Capricorn all day.
Okay.
So a very, again, like that kind of like Saturn energy of like being just very like grounded, stable.
Saturn is Capricorn's modern ruler, you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we've got a trine with Uranus, and Uranus is like almost like the opposite of that. It's like shake everything up, you know, nothing's stable. We're always moving, we're always changing. So I think it's almost like finding like a really harmonious, because again, the trine is a very like, you know, harmonious flow between that things being stable and things not being stable.
Right. And so it's important because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn in the modern. But Aquarius was ruled by Saturn in the ancient.
Yes.
In the modern, Uranus rules Aquarius. Okay, so the thing that they all share in common is Saturn. Aquarius shares Saturn with Capricorn.
Yep.
Okay, so that is why this is a good trine. Okay, before, like you were saying, it'd be, ooh, but there's a Uranus and Saturn know how to speak with each other.
Yep.
In this age of Aquarius.
Yep.
And Uranus has been sitting in Taurus, also forever.
Yeah, it seems
It's
like it.
forever. Okay. And my Taurinians, hang in there. You're almost out of it.
Yep.
And so this is a good conversation.
Right.
Okay, so
And again, same day,
Stability.
sextile, Neptune and Venus.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
so stability, Taurus is money. I'm just going for it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so how are we going to bring in that money? How are we going to make it stable? How are we going to work for it? That's that whole Timmy theme with the moon and Cap trining Uranus and Taurus. And then it's also bringing that extra fun energy. Neptune and Venus are
Yeah.
in Pisces.
Again, more like Venus, Taurus
Who
energy
rules
there.
who rules Taurus?
Yep.
Is Venus.
Exactly.
Okay, and Pisces. Again, if we go to Pisces and its higher self, which is one thing ends, one thing begins.
Yeah.
Okay, so Venus can nurture. If Neptune is dreams, Venus can nurture like that old dream dying and bringing in something else.
Yes.
I know this
Yes.
is getting way out there, friends. Thank you for being with me on this and let me go on that. But really, Friday is just like everything's going to be moving together. And if we weren't in this age of Aquarius, and if we were in that age of Pisces, we would be seeing this totally different.
Yeah.
We would be crying and freaking out. And
Why
there
is
would be,
it over with?
Right. There would be.
And we're just like, yay! It's time to
there
move
would be
into
like
the new
comets
stuff.
coming in.
Yes.
And, so like everything is moving together, you
Right.
guys. Even if you're kind of like, whoa, it's. And I feel you guys can feel this.
Yeah.
Okay, because Mercury, who's in Aquarius, Mercury wants to talk about it. Sextiling Jupiter, who's still in Aries.
Yeah.
And so Mercury in Aquarius is able to talk Aquarian energy to all these planets. Okay.
Yes.
Which is good.
Yes.
right?
And Jupiter's just making it fun.
Right, and Jupiter's
like,
like,
it's not so bad. It's
right,
not so bad. It's fun. It's
right,
cool.
right.
It's exciting. Yes.
And Aries is like, let's light it up.
Right.
So,
And it really is a day about endings.
yes.
Because we've got this really interesting thing happening. So
Okay.
Pluto's already at his anaretic degree. So that's like the 29th degree, the final degree of the sign, right? Degree of mastery, endings, you know.
And he's in Capricorn at that degree.
Right,
The
at
moon
29
was in
degrees.
Capricorn the same day.
Yes.
Okay, you guys listening? Okay.
And the sun and the moon, by the end of the day, very, very end of the day, will both be at anaretic degree as well. So the sun will be in anaretic degree of Aquarius. It's going to move into Pisces the next day. Yes.
Okay.
And then the moon will be anaretic degree of Capricorn as well, about to move into Aquarius.
Yeah.
So all three planetary bodies are at that like critical point.
Right, which is mastery.
Yes,
In theory, it's
this
mastery.
critical point of mastery where, you know, it's a really beautiful energy, but we
Right.
might kind of feel a little like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like something's like almost like being kind of like pushed out of us.
Birth.
Right. And we need to feel that.
Right.
I think, because I think what we're moving into, you know, the next day, we've got Pisces season, so
If
we're
we
moving
get-
into something different.
Right. And if we get into Pisces seasons with that idea, it's going to help let those things go so we
Yes.
can move forward.
Yes.
That's going to be helpful. It doesn't
Yes.
mean that some days we're not going to freak out or be sad, okay? But it's important to know, like, start to look towards these beginnings.
Yes.
And stop us concentrating on the ending.
Yes.
Is the sun, the moon, well, the sun and moon and Pluto are all at 29. Does that happen a lot? I mean, Pluto, because it just depends.
I mean, I think that's probably the rarity about
Yeah.
it, because Pluto obviously, you know, it takes him a very, very long time to move throughout the zodiac. So,
Yeah.
like, if he's at 29 degrees, that's significant.
Right.
And so to just see the other two planets line up to that same point in their own, you know,
Yeah.
places, and also that basically ends up forming the moon Pluto conjunction.
Right, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, like
Moon-
right afterwards, like early Saturday, we have a moon Pluto conjunction.
Right.
So those energies are merging
Mm-hmm.
that are already both at that kind of like mastery point.
Right.
They're merging, and then both like the sun and the moon are going to move into new signs the next day.
Yeah.
So it's like we definitely had this feeling that something big is shifting.
Yeah. So you
Something
guys, it's not
really
you.
big is shifting.
It's everyone.
Yes.
Okay, so know that. It's us.
And
Okay.
it's like the best thing we can do with that is embrace it in a positive way.
Right, take lots of showers, do lots of stretching,
Yes.
maybe drink some more water, go for walks,
Right.
sleep all day,
Yes.
whatever, okay? It's
And,
okay.
and it's interesting because on that day, so obviously
Wait,
that
Saturday or Monday?
Saturday.
Okay, on Saturday. We
So
moved to Saturday.
Saturday, we've got the moon, which obviously is going to move out of Capricorn into Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
Before the moon moves out of Capricorn, conjunction with Pluto.
Mm-hmm.
After the moon moves into Aquarius, conjunction with Mercury.
Right, so way to talk. We can talk
Yes.
about this.
Yes.
Okay. And then on Saturday, like she said, the sun will enter Pisces.
Yes, and that is, you know, the final sign of the zodiac, this is the
We're
last,
almost in spring.
yes, last astrological season in this astrological year.
Right.
Does that make sense how I said that?
Okay, last
Astrological season.
So what's the last, which is Pisces.
Right? In the astrological year, which begins on the spring equinox. So we've
Okay.
got like one
Okay, yes.
season left. Yes.
You're cracking me up.
Am I doing too much?
Yes, you're so extra right now. She's so extra.
I'm
She's a
always
Leo.
extra.
She's a Leo. Okay. So yes. It's the yes. Okay. Thank you. I know. I was wearing these earrings. I was like, it's a Monday, and I was like, I'm with Helen. It's not gonna matter. Okay. So yes, it's the last astrological season in the
Before we start a new astrological
Logical
year
year,
with
yes.
the spring equinox and Aries season.
when we start the zodiac over
Yep.
again. Okay. So we're gonna move into Sunday.
Yes.
Okay, because we just threw a lot at you guys. So Sunday, sorry, the moon will be in Aquarius.
Yes.
It'll be trining Mars and Gemini. So
Yep.
that's a lot of, there's that movement now.
Power up.
Yep, there's that movement. That
Yep.
Mars, Gemini's air, Aquarius is air.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That moon is our intuition. So we can think of, like, kind of feel what's going on. It will be conjunct Saturn. Again,
Yes.
this is close. This is conjunction. Saturn's still in Aquarius.
Yeah.
Saturn wants the future, which is now, to be stable, and there's more than two ways to go about it. Venus will be sextiling Pluto.
Yes.
Good energy again, what are we worth? You know, Pluto's at the end of Capricorn, which is work. Venus is a full Venus. So Sunday really ends in a really beautiful energy. There's nothing shitty about Sunday.
No, it's not. And I think it's like, it's an energy that's going to make us feel almost like all of this was for something.
Yeah.
That there was a reason why we kind of went through this like weird, you know, back and forth, like ending, beginning kind of energy where we're being kind of like told.
Pluto goes in Aquarius and then goes back. Okay, it goes back.
Which
Okay,
is happening in a month from now.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Good
this
job,
is
you guys.
just the beginning.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning.
Okay, so we are going to leave it at there.
Yes.
This is a big week. If you have questions, which I'm sure you may because of this, what we just went over, feel free to get in touch with Helen on YouTube on her Instagram channel, or myself on my YouTube or Instagram channel. And happy Mardi Gras, everybody.
Yes, happy Mardi
We're in it
Gras.
to win it.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yay.
Okay, you guys, we'll see you soon.
Bye.